Hey everybody, welcome back to the studio. This is studio update number 9, I think, and today I'm going to be sharing with you the sort of the secret of the drum tracks on Just Over the Ridge. Some people have asked about those drum tracks and how I created that sound, so I thought I would take you really quickly through the whole process. What I did with this track was, at some point during the development of the track, I felt like I really needed to have a rhythmic layer to it, and I knew that I didn't want it to just be a straight ahead, like, rock rhythm or dance rhythm or anything like that. And what I started with then was just a really basic rhythm that I created in a program called Reason, and it's just your basic kind of kick and tom drum patch. And so once that was recorded, then I brought that into Digital Performer and started adding different effects to it until it was sounding like it really fit into the piece of music that I was creating. So this is the initial sound, which is just, as I said, it's just a very basic rhythm track using kick and toms in that was created in Reason. And if you, I'm going to make sure I'm bypassing all of the stuff here, and you can hear there's really not much to it there. The first thing I did was that I added a multi-mode filter, which is actually a phase shifter. And you hear that it immediately gives it this kind of swirling effect. The real transformation happens in the next two plugins that I added. So we have the drums with the phase shifter on them, and let's hear what that sounds like. So now we're going to go over here and we're going to add some distortion, which has quite a lot of overdrive and bite on it. And then we add delay, which has a fair amount of modulation on it. And you can hear at the end of the pattern how everything will sort of disperse. That's pretty cool. And then the final adjustment that I made to the main drum pattern was just to add some reverb and some EQ. So we'll start first of all with this is where we left off. There, now we've got reverb, and that is a nightclub reverb at 50% mix, so it's pretty heavy. You hear how it pushes that sound back. And then the EQ adjustments just give it a little more clarity. All right, so that's the main drum pattern. And for the final crescendo of the piece, I also added some higher pitched elements. The first thing I used was a program that I love called Serum. And I created this patch that is just called Wings. And as you can see by looking at it, it's just, I'm only using the noise generator. And then over in the effects area, I've added distortion and some ping pong delay, and then some filter, which is kind of a low pass filter, which sort of squashes the high end. And then finally, some reverb. And the reverb really gives it this nice airy quality. For another layer, I then used a field recording that I had made in Wildcat Canyon, California, which is just a recording of me walking through a field of dry wild oat grass. And I'll just play that for you real quick here. And you can hear it's even, I think there's even some crickets in there. But then when you sync up that sound with the wings, and then you add a little timpani roll at the end, this is what you end up with. Pretty dramatic. So when you stack all of that on top of the main drum rhythm, then you end up with this. So that's the secret to the drum pattern on Just Over the Ridge. Some really interesting kind of experimental things going on there. So I will leave you with the final results, which is the final mix of that section. And I look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks for watching.